In the heart of Greyford, where the skyline was a jagged silhouette against the weary dusk, the city thrived on its reputation for chewing up dreams and spitting them out like discarded husks. The air was thick with the scent of rain-soaked concrete and mingled despair, a constant reminder that hope had become a ghost that rarely made an appearance. For Adrian Clark, a 33-year-old man with a once bright future, life had spiraled into a wilderness of solitude and loss. Adrian had once been proud, a factory worker with calloused hands and a world of promise. But when the factory shut its doors, taking with it his job, his stability, and ultimately his fiancée, who could no longer bear to wait for him to get it together, he found himself adrift. With nowhere to call home, he took refuge in the cramped space of his rusted sedan, parked discreetly under the bridge on the city's east side. Each day blurred into the next, a cycle of survival that left him feeling hollow. He would rise with the sun, the soft glow illuminating the dust and grime on his windshield, and join the weary lines at the shelter. The scent of stale bread and soap from the makeshift shower room lingered in his nostrils, a sharp contrast to the sun-soaked, carefree days of his past. When he sought work, the rejections poured in like a relentless storm. Each overqualified or not the right fit felt like sand scraping against his throat, choking him with the weight of his failures. Yet buried deep within him was a flicker of resilience, a stubborn ember that refused to be extinguished. One chilly night, as the stars peeked through the thick clouds above, Adrian sat in his car, the engine purring softly in the silence. He pulled out a battered notebook, pages frayed and stained, and began to write furiously. "This is not my final chapter," he penned with determination, and those words ignited a fire within him. With renewed spirit, he began volunteering at the shelter, pouring himself into service even when he had little to give. Each sweep of the floor and every meal served felt like a small act of rebellion against the bleakness that had engulfed him. He spoke kind words to those who had also succumbed to despair, and slowly, he began to see the wilderness around him not as a punishment, but as preparation for something greater. As months passed, his dedication caught the eye of Mr. Hayes, a local business owner who frequently donated to the shelter. One day, he approached Adrian, his voice resonating with authority tempered by understanding. "You don't complain," Mr. Hayes observed, his eyes narrowing with scrutiny. "You just show up." Impressed by Adrian's tenacity, he offered him a position at his small logistics company. Adrian embraced the opportunity with fervor, pouring his heart into each task. He became a beacon of dedication, earning the respect of his colleagues and superiors alike. Within a year, he climbed the ranks to supervisor, and within 3 years, he became a partner in the company. The road through the wilderness had been long, dry, and filled with obstacles, but as Adrian reflected on his journey, he realized that it had been his crucible, shaping him into a resilient leader. Now, as he stood at the helm of a thriving business, he felt the weight of his past less like a burden and more like a badge of honor. The wilderness hadn't been a place of death. It had been his greatest teacher, guiding him toward a life worth living. Sometimes, the wilderness isn't where you die, it's where you learn how to truly live.